At the heart of community-led support is what we refer to as good conversations, and these can take place in a myriad of places and by a range of different people and practitioners. At the start, we look at what is it that matters most to that person. What does a good life look like for them? What's important now, but also what do they really want for the future? How can they stay healthy, safe and well? What's also going well in their lives at the moment? We don't typically ask this. We tend to have a very deficit-based system that only looks at what isn't working. But if we understand what is working in someone's life, the people, the things, the arrangements around them that have helped and still help, then that's what we can build on and hopefully strengthen, as well as what's not going well. This is often what people are wanting to share with us and what are the outcomes that they want to achieve. And with all that information, we then start looking at, well, what are some of the solutions, and to work through with them, what are the strengths that they currently have, what can they build on, what are their passions, what's their determination, what resources do they have, what assets. So we look at who's around them, their social capital, maybe they have family or neighbours that are already helping out, and what is in their community, what are the third sector organisations and around where they live, but also informal stuff like maybe it's church groups or lunch clubs, maybe there's a pub that does cook meals, and use those things to help the person stay independent for as long as possible. And then only as a last resort, we would look to statutory services to address those needs that can't be met in any other way.
One of the first things you'll see is a slightly different conversation at the front door. We're also getting social work out into the community. So all my social workers have now been mandated to set up what we're calling pop-up sessions or talking points in community places where people would naturally go, perhaps a GP surgery, one of the local community hubs, and you can book to have a conversation with our social worker. What we're finding also is that our social workers, by getting out into the community, are learning about all the different things that are happening in the locality, and they're applying that in their practice. So, you know, if somebody is feeling lonely and isolated, it's not perhaps about, right, I'll book you to go to a day centre, but I'll link you in with a local club that perhaps one of our neighbourhood networks is running, or something like that.
Social worker telling us it was just critical need, which would just be getting you up and getting you dressed and nothing else that the council would fund. And we were like, well, no, actually it's Ashleigh's critical needs to get to college, that I could get you up and get you dressed.
Yeah, it was really good to have the person who took the time to come and say, you know, what do you want to do? Instead of like going, okay, let's discuss this form. I am one person as a family of four. If I didn't get that support, it would affect the whole life. It wouldn't.
Yeah, it would affect everybody. I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing. Helen wouldn't be doing, your sister wouldn't be doing what she's doing probably. Needed that support for her to be able to achieve what she's achieved, and Dad doing his work and